welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And we are diving back in for more Breaking Dawn.
Yes, it's so exciting. Not at all cringeworthy or traumatic. Not at all. Before we get too deep into anything, just a reminder, you can find us at all of our social media. They are linked in the description below. I also feel like I haven't mentioned it in a little bit, but we do have an email listed there. If you ever have ideas for a book series that we should review, ideas for our Who Knows What Wednesday episodes, which can be really whatever, from true crime to mysteries to historical stuff, we're open to pretty much anything.
Or anything else.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else, but like most
on the internet,
things.
you can't. Yeah.
Most things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Happy messages, just saying hello and what part of the world you're from, because we already had one of those messages.
We did.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, we'd appreciate it. You can always leave a comment too, and you should also like, follow, and subscribe. That way, no, you also have to hit the notification bell. I almost forgot about that. Wow, as a child that was raised in the era. The era. I said nurse anesthetist so many times today that I don't think I can say any other words.
You're good.
As children raised in the era of like YouTubers coming up and making it big, I feel like all of us always heard the don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of more content. And yet I goofed it.
Yeah.
Meh.
It's different when you say it. Like you're used to hearing it all the time, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a camera in front of you.
Yeah. It makes things a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, either way, you should subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have our book reviews coming out every Saturday, as you well know by this point. We also have our Who Knows What Wednesdays, and those are arranged by playlists on our YouTube if you'd like to check them out there.
Yes. All right. Well, today we are going to be diving back in for more Breaking Dawn. And we're back in Bella's perspective.
I missed
Jacob.
Yeah.
All right. So I just figured the start is literally just like a page, not even a full page. So I'm just going to read it instead of trying to summarize. No longer just a nightmare. The line of black advanced on us through the icy mist, stirred up by their feet. We're going to die, I thought in panic. I was desperate for the precious one I guarded. But even to think of that was a lapse in attention I could not afford. They ghosted closer, their dark robes billowing slightly with the movement. I saw their hands curled into bone-colored claws. They drifted apart, angling to come at us from all sides. We were outnumbered. It was over. And then, like a burst of light from a flash, the whole scene was different, yet nothing changed. The Volturi still stalked towards us, poised to kill. All that really changed was how the picture looked to me. Suddenly, I was hungry for it. I wanted them to charge. The panic changed to bloodlust as I crouched forward, a smile on my face, and a growl rippled through my bare teeth. So that's what's going to happen.
I say nothing.
Obviously, I know nothing, but from all of the books of Stephanie's that I've read so far, how it starts tells exactly what's going to happen. So, like,
there is so much I want to say right now, and I can't.
We're getting close. We are getting close. Okay, chapter 19, Burning. The pain was bewildering, and Bella was in and out of consciousness. When Bella tells Edward to get him out now, and she feels a different pain in her stomach, she wanted to protect it. Her little EJ, Edward Jacob.
It's the last time I'm going to say it, but again, that is weird. You want to name your kid after your husband and the guy that you kind of have, and you do have an emotional affair with and has feelings with you.
For now, you do.
That's true. But even still, any of that, I just, If I was the husband in that situation, I'd be like, whew. Therapy?
Yes. She was weak, though. She comes back to hearing Jacob tell her to stay with him. She wanted to tell him that she would, but she couldn't. Bella heard Edward whisper, Renesmee. Did I say that right?
I think so. That's how I've been saying it.
Okay.
Renesmee.
Renesmee, yes.
Renesmee, yeah.
Mm.
We'll find out in the movie.
I guess so.
Pretty sure it's Renesmee. Meh.
I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, but do it nicely, please. Thank you. Bella was shocked she wasn't a he. She asked for her, and Bella could feel her skin was hot like Jacob's. Renesmee smiled and had a full set of teeth. She leaned her head down, and there was pain. This is going to be a really creepy baby. It's going to be really creepy. Ooh.
Girl, hold it. All I will say is that when we watch the Breaking Dawn movies, we need to be able to see the special features where they talk about the props. Let's just remember that, okay?
Okay. Someone took her from Bella. She wanted to shout no, but she was too weak and the black was taking over. It would be easy to let the black take over, but it would hurt them. She was pushing against the black, trying to resist it. Determination wasn't enough, though. She needed something to draw strength from. She started listing names in her head. When she got through Renesmee, she felt something. It was like she could feel again, and she had something warm in her arms, her daughter. Bella held on to the memory of knowing she would be able to fight the darkness as long as she needed to. The warmth next to her heart got hotter and hotter. It was uncomfortable, like she was burning. She wanted to claw her chest open, but she couldn't feel her arms. Why couldn't she move? Why couldn't she scream? Her mind was so clear. The morphine. Bella had both in her system before and knew morphine wasn't enough, but she didn't tell Edward that. Bella didn't know that morphine would pin her down and gag her. She just wanted to die. Seconds, days, weeks, or years have passed, but Bella started feeling more in control of her body. She was able to hear things too. She could count breaths. Carlisle asked if there was any change. Edward tries to get Bella to open her eyes, but she doesn't. He worries that he was too late, but Carlisle points out that her heart was stronger than Emmett's ever was. She'll be perfect. Her injuries also weren't much worse than Esme. The venom will heal her. They don't know if she's in agony or not. She had a lot of morphine in her system. They don't know how that's affecting things. Edward tells her that he loves her and he is sorry. Edward tells Carlisle he is staying there, they'll sort things out, and will deal with it later, or they will. Carlisle responds, it's an interesting situation, and he thought he's seen everything. He wonders what side Bella will take. Edward is sure she will surprise him. Edward asks Alice how much longer. Not long. Bella's becoming more clear. She figured it out. She sees vampires best because she is one, humans because she was one, but can't see anything else because she's never experienced it. Mystery of Alice is solved. Alice assures him that Bella will be fine. Downstairs, Rosalie snapped that it was her turn. Someone hissed. The fire in her heart was back, and it was increasing. Her heartbeat increased. The
fire was increasing and her heartbeat increased.
Yeah, that was just a weird...
There's a Stephanieism.
Mm-hmm. Edward calls for Charlie. He tells him it's almost over now.
Charlie?
Carlisle.
Okay, I was like, whoa, I forgot that.
Nope. Carlisle.
Okay, Edward calls for Carlisle.
My bad.
Okay.
Whew. He tells him it's almost over now.
Mm-hmm.
Alice asks if she should get the others, and then asks if Rosalie can. But Edward tells her to keep the baby away. Bella is furious. Why? She twitches her hand from her irritation. Alice takes off to grab the others. Bella's heart took off and got faster and faster until it stopped. Quote, for a moment, the absence of pain was all I could comprehend. And then I opened my eyes and gazed above me in wonder. End quote. End of chapter 19.
All right.
All right.
Right into 20.
Chapter 20. New. Everything was clear and overwhelming to Bella. Everything was so beautiful. She didn't need air, but she liked it. She could taste everything around her. She heard the others around her. She didn't realize that someone was holding her hand until someone squeezed it. The touch wasn't what she expected. The skin was smooth, but it wasn't cold. She was now the same temperature as Edward. Bella was focused on Edward's face and marveled over his beauty. Edward moved around the table. Bella was still staring at him. He said her name. When she didn't answer, he continued to tell her that he is sorry. He knows how disorienting everything is, but she's all right and everything is fine. Bella recalled the last moments of her human life. Where was Renesmee? Was she fine? Where was Jacob? Did he hate her now? Was he back to Sam's pack? Were Seth and Leah gone with him? Bella shifted and pressed her face into Edward's chest. He leaned away from her. She was too strong. Edward tells her to not panic. She's just a little stronger than he is for the moment. Bella knew that this would happen, but it was surreal. She was stronger than Edward and even made him say, ow.
He had that coming.
Yeah.
3.5 books in, wherever we're at in this fourth book. He had that coming. Cue Chicago musical music. Thank you.
All of the sensations were overwhelming, but she needed to focus. She touches his cheek and tells him she loves him. Her voice sounded like singing, and it shimmered and rang like a bell. Quote, his answering smile dazzled me more than it ever had when I was human. I could really see it now. End quote.
I'm going to be traumatized by the word dazzle when we are done with this series.
That's 100% why I put it in there, by the way. He dazzles her. That reminds me, someone commented that we need to, what was it? We need to be more romantic.
We need to be...
Because we were making fun of...
Oh, yeah, I did see that one. You know what? Yes, we will be the first people to acknowledge that we and our husbands are not PDA people.
Mm-mm.
There is different forms of romance.
There is.
Dazzling is just one of them, and that ain't the philosophy we subscribe to.
This is too cringy to be romantic. I can be lovey-dovey over other stuff, but this...
No, this feels too love-bomby. Like...
Too toxic, too manipulative, too... I don't like it.
I don't.
And it doesn't matter that Edward's better now because he used to be... Anyways, I could get on a tangent, but I won't.
See all of our Twilight episodes.
Twilight was... that was bad.
That was... You and I have done a lot of hard things together.
That was probably one of the hardest.
That was definitely the most trying in terms of patience and controlling facial expressions and or commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edward tells her that he loves her too. He kisses her soft at first, but got harder. It was like he never kissed her before. Not this way, at least. They got more intense until Emmett clears his throat. She forgot that they were alone. They pull apart and Edward chuckled. Bella tells him he's been holding out on her.
Sorry.
Edward laughs. It was necessary at the time, and then reminds her, quote, now it's... Quote, are you ready for it?
No!
Okay. Whew. Quote, now it's your turn to not break me.
There is nothing I can say here that is not wildly inappropriate for this channel. So yes. Or fill in the blanks.
So Edward wasn't the only one laughing. Carlisle walked toward Bella, slightly wary, and Jasper shadowed him. Carlisle is surprised with how controlled she is, much more controlled than he expected. Carlisle asks what she remembers. Bella hesitated because she didn't want to tell Edward about her experience. She then tells Carlisle it's hard to remember. It was so dark, then she opened her eyes. Carlisle was amazed. He wants her to tell him everything. He was so excited. Then he apologizes. He's sure that she must be so uncomfortable with the thirst. But until he mentioned it, the thirst wasn't unmanageable. Edward suggests that they go hunt. Bella hesitates, and Edward tells her it's easy. It's instinctual. Also, he was under the impression that she'd always wanted to see him hunt. Bella laughed at that. Edward tries to get her to leave, but Bella wants to see Renesmee first. That's not a good idea yet. She is half human. Her heart beats, and there is blood in her veins. She needs to be in control of her thirst first. Bella asks where she is, but she could hear more than one heart beating downstairs. Edward then tells her that Rosalie and Jacob are with Renesmee. Bella asks for them to catch her up on what she missed. Carlisle was the one to answer. Nothing much changed. She was only out for 2 days. Edward was innovative and injected the venom directly into her heart. Jacob is still here, and Charlie still thinks that she is sick and is in Atlanta for testing. He's been speaking to Esme as they gave him a bad number, and he's been frustrated. Edward interrupts them and tells her that there is a lot to talk about. She must be in pain. They'll tell her everything later. Bella agrees, and Alice calls for them to wait. Edward promised her that she could be the first this time. What if they came across something that was reflective? Bella was very confused, as is Connie.
Yeah, I'm not remembering this.
Alice is gone in a flash. Bella now looks at Jasper. She can see all of his scars that her human eyes couldn't see. His eyes were on her. Jasper felt dangerous to her. He saw and felt her assessment and smiled wearily at her. Alice is suddenly back with Rosalie's giant mirror. Apparently, Edward gave her grief for not getting Bella to a mirror at the wedding, so she's making sure that Bella gets to see herself now.
That was the best thing for her at that wedding.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very limited amount of time you want to be looking in the mirror on your wedding day. Yeah, in the mirror on your wedding day, because you will pick apart everything.
Yeah.
Girl was already anxious. That was a good call.
Bella was stunned. The alien creature in the reflection was just as beautiful as Alice or Esme. She gasped at her eyes. They're red. How long will they be red? Edward tells her that animal blood dilutes them, and they will darken in a few months, amber first and then gold. Bella was stressed. This would take months? Jasper took a step toward Bella. Bella took a deep breath and promises that she's fine. It's just a lot to take in. But Jasper furrows his eyebrow. Edward muttered he didn't know. Bella asks what question did she miss? Jasper is wondering how she's able to control her emotions. He has never seen a newborn be able to stop an emotion in its tracks. She was upset, but once she saw their concern, she stopped and reined it in. He was prepared to help, but she didn't need it. Bella asked if that was wrong. It wasn't. It was actually impressive, but they don't know how long it can last. Bella watched herself move in the mirror. Edward sighed, and Bella asks if he's disappointed. He laughs and says yes. Bella was shocked and then hurt. Alice snarled. Jasper leaned in again, waiting for Bella to snap. Edward ignored them and put his arms around her. He was hoping he would be able to hear her mind since they're more similar, but he is still just as frustrated. Bella was instantly relieved. Oh, well, her brain will never work right. At least she's pretty.
Now that would have been on a Tumblr post. My brain doesn't work right, but at least I'm pretty.
Right.
Pink sparkles everywhere, iced coffees.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
So did you, internet. You saw it too. It works.
All right. Quote to end this chapter. Edward growled in my ear, Bella, you have never been merely pretty. Then his face pulled away from mine and he sighed. All right, he said to someone. What? I asked. You're making Jasper more edgy by the second. He may relax a little when you've hunted. I looked at Jasper's worried expression and nodded. I didn't want to snap here, if that was coming. Better be surrounded by trees than family. Okay, let's hunt, I agreed. A thrill of nerves and anticipation made my stomach quiver. I unwrapped Edward's arms from around me, keeping one of his hands, and turned my back on the strange and beautiful woman in the mirror. End of chapter 20. Anything on chapter 20? Other than that, there was a couple real cringy things in there.
I remember this chapter differently. Really differently. But I also might be confusing it with the movies. So
You might be.
we will see. Again, it's been over a decade since I've read this book. So I've read one or two things in the meantime between college, law school, life in general. So might have forgotten a thing or two.
Chapter 20. 21.
21, yes.
First hunt. Edward brought Bella to the window. It's the most convenient way out of the house. He offers to carry her if she's scared. He explains that they can't go down to the door because Renesmee is downstairs with Jacob and Rosalie. Bella asks if she is okay with Jacob there, since he really doesn't like her. Edward tells her that she's perfectly safe. He knows exactly what Jacob is thinking. Bella was nervous, and to make things worse, all the Cullens were watching her, and Alice had dressed her in a tight, short dress with stilettos.
Alice hates her. That is not...
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Why? Why that?
Of all things.
I mean, the tight dress, okay, fine, but stilettos?
Not when you're going to be hunting and doing stuff. No.
And you're getting used to a new body.
Yeah.
Girl, at that,
No.
I wouldn't even have given her shoes. I would have been like, socks, fuzzy socks, comfy socks, sweatpants, no bra, sweatshirt.
Yes.
But a crew neck that's very loose and doesn't pull on the neck. And have her hair pulled up and out of the way. See, this is how you be a girl's girl, okay?
So Edward jumps first so Bella can observe him, and then Bella goes. She was able to land with ease, and Edward points out that she is quite graceful, even for a vampire. Bella thanks him and then takes her heels off and threw them back in the house.
Sorry.
Alice calls that her fashion sense hasn't improved like her balance. And the two of them take off. Edward stops and calls to Bella when she doesn't. He asks if she would like to stay in this country or if she was planning to go to Canada. Edward tells him that this is fine. Edward says that they'll hunt some elk. He wanted to start with something easy for her first time. He tells her to hold still, close her eyes, and listen. He helps her navigate her senses. When she finds what she's looking for, Edward tells her to follow her instincts. Bella follows the scent. She can feel herself being followed. She stops and snarls at Edward.
Snarls at Edward? I forgot about this.
Yep. Snarls at Edward. It startled her enough that it brought clarity to her head. The wind shifted, and Bella smelt something more delicious. A human. Edward was a few feet away from her and raised his arms to either embrace or restrain Bella. When she sees his face, she realizes that she is in a crouch ready to attack him. She straightens and tells him that she has to get away from here. Edward is shocked. Can she leave? Bella doesn't stay long enough to answer. She takes off. She's aware that she is being followed, but knows that it's Edward. When she stops, Edward asks how she was able to do that. Bella held her breath. She then apologizes for growling at him. She was horrified. Edward tells her to not apologize. He was the one who was careless. He just assumed that no one would be there. So far off the trail, he should have checked first. Edward still can't understand how she was able to run away, though. Bella asks, well, what else would she do? It could have been someone that she knew. He starts laughing, but then stops when he sees Bella's reaction. He isn't laughing at her. He's just in shock because he's amazed. She shouldn't be able to do any of that. She shouldn't be able to be so rational. Even mature vampires have difficulty with the smell of human blood in the air. She's behaving like she's decades old and not days. Bella was swept over with powerful emotions. She didn't think she would feel this way for him for a long while. Edward was again shocked. How can she even concentrate on that? She must be unbearably thirsty. Well, now she is, since he brought it up. Bella concentrates again on her surroundings and takes off. She ends up finding and eating a mountain lion, but was still thirsty. Edward had a hard time letting her take it on. Old habits die hard. Bella is still thirsty, and there are deer nearby. She points out that they don't taste nearly as good, and that is because they're herbivores. Carnivores smell more like humans. Bella gets a deer, and she is done for the day. She wants to go see Renesmee. Edward holds his hand out for her. She takes it, and she couldn't help but stroke his face again. Bella gently wraps her arms around him and kisses him. Edward wasn't as gentle and grabs her tightly. Quote, my old mind hadn't been capable of holding this much love. My old heart had not been strong enough to bear it. Maybe this part of me that I'd brought forward intensified my new life. Like Carlisle's compassion and Esme's devotion, I would probably never be able to do anything interesting or special like Edward, Alice, or Jasper. Maybe I would just love Edward more than anyone in the history of the world had ever loved anyone else. I could live with that. End quote. Bella ends up accidentally tackling Edward. I think she was just trying to hug him and then tackles him because she's too strong. He's fine and asks if she wants to see Renesmee. That was difficult for Bella to answer. She wanted so many things at the same time. Oh, no, she wasn't just hugging Edward. Never mind.
I was going to say, hang on.
No. Yeah, my bad.
We glazed over that one.
Yeah. That was difficult for Bella to answer. She wanted so many things at the same time. Quote, Renesmee, I agreed, rueful, and I whipped back up onto my feet, pulling him with me. End quote, end of chapter 21. And those are our chapters for today.
What do you think of the chapters thus far?
I mean, all I was thinking about, I've read a couple of chapters beyond this, but all I was thinking about in this moment was, oh my gosh, what happens when Bella goes back and finds out that Jacob imprinted on Renesmee?
Have you gotten to that part yet?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay.
So that will be next week. But I mean, like, Carlisle's thoughts on how they get their talents, per se, came from, like, what was really important to them in their human life. And for Bella, what was most important to her was that she didn't kill a human. She didn't want to kill a human. She wants to be in control. And so her becoming a vampire, she wanted to be in control so bad. She was so scared of hurting someone. And now she has control over that.
So basically, she's got control issues. And this is what I'm hearing would happen to you and I.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get better, but it's hard. It's hard to do.
It's incredibly hard. And again, it is still funny, and I know we've said it before, but for two very controlling people at times, we are the least controlling in our friendship.
Yeah.
Half the time it's like, oh, you make a decision. You make a decision. I don't know. What decision should we do? We don't control anything. We just go on vibes.
Pretty much, yeah. It works well.
It does. It works very well. And the random things that we are set on are completely different. So it really balances.
It does, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even today, Connie came over and I was like, I have the oven ready if you want a pizza. And she's like, I don't know. Are you hungry? And I was like, I don't know. Are you? And she's like, I don't know. We just put it in and it worked well. So.
And then we started eating and we're like, oh yeah, we were hungry. This happens more often than not.
Mm-hmm. But we are getting there with Breaking Dawn. I am interested to see when the Volturi come back in play here and what they're going to... Are they going to know? How are they going to find out about Renesmee? I'm sure that's a plot point. I know you won't tell me, and I know you guys won't tell me. Don't tell me.
Don't tell her. Do you know how hard I have worked since April of 2024? No, that was when we first posted. We started recording before that. But it's been a year. It has been a year of me not spoiling nothing for Jess. So don't you spoil it on the internet.
Don't do it. But if it's a longer post on one of these, I generally will screenshot it and send it to Connie and her cousin and be like, is this safe to read? And there's only been one instance where you guys have told me no.
Yeah, because they brought up Renesmee.
Oh, okay. Can I go back and read it then?
Maybe not, because I don't remember all of it.
I'll wait for the end of the book. Then we're almost there.
We're almost there. I just know, as soon as I saw Renesmee, I was like, don't read, do not read. I think were we in Eclipse at that point, or we weren't?
I think we were in New Moon.
Yeah, I was like, you can't, especially because you're like, I'm loving Jacob, I'm loving how this works out, and I'm like,
yeah, it was definitely New Moon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my thing now is like, this is a whole, I don't know how to get this into words other than like, did Jacob ever actually truly love Bella? Because like as soon as the baby was born, all of a sudden he's like, everything that drew me to Bella is now gone. It's going downstairs. And it's like, okay, so you never loved Bella.
No, it's like he didn't love his family, his brothers, his sisters, nobody. Everything that made him is gone, and now everything's just Renesmee, which I am looking forward to being able to send you videos because it is a thing in the Twilight content creator world. Very few people say Renesmee. It's usually like Razzafrazzle, Rasputin, Rigbity Biggity.
Rasputin. Okay.
It's anything but Renesmee because people make fun of the name.
Yeah, well, it is a weird name.
It is. And you know what? Oddly enough, I am not judging on the name. I have a weird real name. It is what it is.
I don't, of all the names that I've heard though, it's not the weirdest.
No.
It's not super hard to pronounce.
No. It's different.
It's different. I mean, it makes sense for what she wanted and what she was going for.
And that she's a 17-year-old girl with major mental health issues.
Yeah.
Not said with judgment. No. Said as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I do not have a psych degree of any type. For psych professionals who are watching this, hi, welcome. How you doing? Probably not well if you're here, but thank you. Tell us what's wrong with Bella. A lot. Mommy issues? Daddy issues? Self-identity issues for sure.
I could see that one.
Self-esteem issues. A lot of issues.
Yeah. But yeah, so Bella's able to control everything.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Any final thoughts from you?
I feel like we're going to have more commentary when we watch this portion of Breaking Dawn.
I have a feeling. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us for another 3 chapters of Breaking Dawn.
We will see you guys next week, but just a reminder, you should check out our channels. They are linked in the description below to see the other chapters of Breaking Dawn, as well as Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse. And YouTube has our exclusive movie reactions to the Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse movies. Same spot that we will have our reactions to Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2 movies.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll either see you next week for who knows what, or next Saturday for the next couple chapters.
Until then,
bye.
Adios. I feel like we need something catchy for the Saturdays. Who knows what Wednesdays?
I've been trying to figure it out for so long, and I can't think of anything.
Something literature Saturday. Yeah, but we want you want an allegory.